Good morning. It's Friday, the 19th of April, 2024. This is Vijay here. Welcome to another episode of Pre-Market Commentary. The title of today's commentary is War. Uh, I was expecting that the Israelis will preempt the deadline which the media was talking about, the Passover, holidays, and after April 30th, they are supposed to be attacking Iran. No sensible military power will give away any timetable. So one would have expected that nothing will happen after 30th of April, or if something had to happen, it will happen before Monday, this Monday. So exactly like that, it has played out because typical military strategists will always do what is we call feint. That is, they will give you false information and make you complacent, and then they will attack when everybody is looking the other side. I had prepared my market commentary based on what happened yesterday in the markets and about Infosys results and the upcoming HDFC Bank results. But I think I have to throw out all of the window because something new has cropped up and we need to talk about it very briefly. I will have a longer conversation end of this day, as well as on the weekend. I want to do a segment on the elections and the markets. So coming back to what's happening today, the Dow Jones, Nasdaq, and S&P behaved exactly as they were behaving for last few weeks, which is the futures are strong, and then their selling starts as soon as the market opens, and that's what was exhibited yesterday. Though Dow Jones went up more than 350 points at one time, but finally it's closed marginally negative, whereas Standard and Poor and Nasdaq have closed lower. Of course, that's all history because today is a completely different day and probably beginning of a completely different phase. If the war clouds hang over us for a long time, and as I mentioned, both Iran and Israel are nuclear powers, though they have not officially declared. And there have been reports that some bombing has taken place near the nuclear facilities of Iran. So the markets have dropped. US futures are down. US futures are down by about, I think, about 400 points. And we should expect the markets to be continue to be under pressure there. Now in Asia, the weakest of the markets, which was actually the strongest of the markets till March end, that is Nikkei, has dropped about 1,200 points. Hang Seng has dropped about 400 points. I wouldn't trust Gift Nifty because we do not know the positioning. So basically, this is all about a game of positioning. Yesterday, for instance, the market dropped significantly. People thought it was algos which played a role. I think it is much more than algos. Somebody knew something about the Indian election scene, and that is why I think the markets dropped. That is another worry which we have to tackle, which I hope to give you some perspective over the weekend. So what has happened is there is a flight to safety. The bonds have dropped precipitously. The 10-year yield is dropped by 3%. Typically, the bonds are safe haven investments. Gold and silver has gone up. Before that, let me show you what I'm seeing on the charts. This is a chart which is you see, I have drawn this chart about war and how markets behave. In the initial reaction will always be a positive, or the immediate reaction is negative, but the initial reaction, that is after the bottom out, you will see a rally. This is where the Ukraine war started on 24th of February 2022. This is Dow Jones chart. The Dow Jones had fallen 10% away from their highs before the Ukraine war started. So subsequently, it fell down for a few days, and then it bounced back here, and then it went down and bottomed out only around 14% lower. So the immediate effect will be down. Soon after you will get a dead cat bounce, and then you will see a longer drop down, which was much more than the initial drop down in Dow Jones, which is about 10%. Subsequently, Dow Jones has gone up 36%. Now there has been a drop before the war has started, which is about 3%. So we may have to expect a much severe drop vis-a-vis what happened last time. Ukraine is You see, it is Ukraine is just a territory of Russia for all practical purposes. So that war was not very serious. But Iran and Israel being nuclear states, the severity will be there. So just let me look at the other, you know, just come back to India, for instance, take Nifty. Uh, yeah, Nifty. Oh, sorry, okay. For some reason I'm not getting Nifty. Yeah. Let me go back here and start sharing. I'm having this problem because I'm technologically that good. But anyway, Nifty had in the before the Ukraine war, it had already dropped 8%, and then subsequently it bounced back and then finally bottomed out 11%. So Nifty behaved exactly like the Dow Jones. Initially dropped, then again it went up, a dead cat bounce, and then dropped 11%. Subsequently, it has gone up 50%, and now the drop is only 3%. So that is as far as the Nifty is concerned. So we should expect a much bigger drop over the next few weeks and days. Let's take what happened to mid caps. See, mid caps, you see the drop was already 13.5% when the Ukraine war started and dropped 15%, which is quite severe. And now we are just about 3% drop or something like that. So we need to be careful about what happens in mid cap. The problem will come in small caps and micro caps. Now, if you see small caps, you see they dropped 17, but subsequently they dropped 20. They already dropped 17% before the war with Ukraine, and then they dropped 20%, which is a very big drop. And they really did not go anywhere for the next, say, 1 year since the beginning of the Ukraine war. In fact, 1 year later in March of 2023, they were still lower than what they were in March 2022 when the Ukraine war started. Actually, it started on February 24, 2022. So it was much below. So I expect mid caps and small caps to behave the same way as what they behaved in the 2022 war, which means they will underperform the Nifty. Nifty had bounced back, but whereas these had underperformed. If you look at it back to Nifty, Nifty had gone up. In fact, it had bounced back significantly above those highs of the October 2021. So Nifty was in a much better place, whereas it was not the case with the small caps and the mid caps. Again, I show you here mid caps. You see here, it is still in March. It is still lower than what it was around. It was slightly better than small caps, but still it had not crossed the significantly crossed the February 24, the date when the Ukraine was bombed by Russia. So what I feel at this point of time is that one has to be extremely, extremely careful. I've been mentioning this. The only safe haven today is debt instruments or precious metals. Gold and silver are doing well, so I expect they will continue to do well. And disclaimer here is that our family portfolio has about 50% in precious metals for quite some time, and we will continue to hold that kind of positions. In as far as equities are concerned, we are mostly in pharma. And please note that I'm not a SEBI registered advisor. Thank you for being with me throughout. You can expect a longer version by the end of the day.